Welcome to the Hooch, where the only place more messed up than your hosts is the barracks on a Friday night or the VA. So get ready to stand by for your weekly dose of toilet humor and shenanigans from your fellow veterans, Coy Mack and Michael Grizzled Grunt Harris.
And good evening, everyone. You got Coy Mack here and the one, the only Michael Harris.
Pew pew. What is
Good
up
evening.
this
Good
Sunday evening? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah, it's Sunday evening. It's a interesting Sunday evening because we have a lot to talk about with the Marine Corps. I originally thought it was all of the Marine Corps, but apparently it's only Central Command or the command that's responsible for the Middle East is canceling their Marine Corps birthday, which is a really big deal, and we'll get into it in a minute. And then we're going to talk about the Palestinian protests in D.C. because it's one of those things of like, I can't believe people actually keep siding with this and what they call for, because it's going to fracture the Democrat Party.
Yes.
In 2024. Like, this is the best Hail Mary the Republicans could have ever asked for, is this fight. Like, honestly, it could have been. So, Michael, what are you up to this weekend?
Oh man. Let's see, I have an assignment due. I have to make some butter, cheese, and some cheese pancakes. So I'll do that tomorrow. And then I'm just shit posting online. Yeah, I don't have much to do. I'm waiting on my house to close, so I can be done with that in a couple of weeks, and then I'll be moving on to another place, another city, and then I'll have my domicile established, and then I can really get back to the way I want to do things. Everybody can notice this is temporary here, so. But yeah, that's it. And we just, real quick, want to say hello to everyone in the chat. We see all the familiar faces. Thank you all.
Everybody, all the familiar people in the chat.
All the familiar. Make sure you're sharing it. Yeah. I mean, between the Savage Patriots and the Hooch, we are kind of a team, even though we're two separate entities. We're still a team, and we do share each other's stuff, and we're trying to get the message out.
Yep. And thanks to the viewers on Kick as well. So like, we not only do we have YouTube going, we also have Kick going, Facebook, and and usually Twitter is the Savage Patriots goes on there because this program I'm using is different, so I can use it on Kick because it's better. Anyway,
it's better. And Spotify. I like it a little better. And
Spotify.
Let all your friends know also, if they missed this live broadcast, you can always catch it up again on YouTube, and you can go to Spotify and iTunes Radio. If you're driving along, you want to hear our sexy voices. You know what I mean?
Yep. You can always listen to the show on the go, because we try to put it out everywhere we can. Anyway, so to get the show started, I have a video for you all. I'm going to go with some funnies before we get into the serious. I showed Michael this one earlier, and it is absolutely hilarious.
They say black people can't be racist, but I believe we can do whatever we put our minds to.
I felt attacked when he showed me that earlier, because Coy knows, Michael is a very spiritual person. And that's not even a joke. I am like super, super into spirituality and manifestations and affirmations and higher conscience and Christ conscience and all that stuff. So, but yeah,
honestly, for a joke, he put a lot of production value into it. Like, that was freaking spectacular, my friend. Like, brilliant work. I would definitely recommend checking more of those out, because he's got a bunch of them that are really funny.
I dig it.
The next one I showed Michael also right before the show. If you've been in the service, you may or may not have experienced this exact same thing before.
Cringy.
And just so you know, this is kind of a big deal, even though it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. So yeah, let's watch.
My inner sergeant first class got angry.
So we're watching security footage, for those that are listening and don't know, and we're seeing what looks to be a saw inside of a clearing barrel. And there went the Indy.
You know what? So what happened there was, first off, the tray.
It looks like he's almost getting instructed, isn't he?
Yeah, the feed tray, not the feed tray. The the feed tray.
Yeah.
Notice it wasn't open, right? So at first it wasn't
no.
properly cleared initially. So he charged it and then opened the feed tray and tried to open it. That's why it went off. You should open the feed tray first and then get the rounds out of there and then pull the charging handle back, which he
Yeah,
didn't
that
do.
he
You see?
charged it, and then that's exactly what happened. I see that. Jesus, dude.
Not too smart, no dang rookies.
That is.
That's a female, so that's definitely not infantryman. Just
What was it? Was it a female? I thought that was like a dude though.
there are
Let
females
me
in
take a look
infantry,
at it.
but those didn't look like female infantrymen. They could be. I mean, there's females in the infantry now. Who knows?
No, this is probably admin.
Yeah.
Like that's a dude. I can. Well, I mean, in 2023, you don't know what a dude is anymore, right? So it could be. It could be a very butchy lady, or it could be a very feminine man. I am not entirely sure.
Yeah, who knows these days?
He probably has birth control glasses, though.
Yeah.
Or they have birth control glasses.
Well,
One of the two.
whoever, there's got to be a non-commissioned officer there watching him, so he should be fired immediately.
Yeah.
He's not. Yeah. He's supposed to be the one enforcing the proper clearing procedures.
Supposed to be.
That's probably his person, his soldier. And
that's his guy.
Obviously, he didn't train him correctly on how to handle that weapon.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's stupid.
That's like a nightmare, I think, for any like private is going to the clearing barrel and you being that one guy or one person that NDs right into the barrel, because obviously, like you said before, that's what they're supposed to be for, is to catch rounds in case somebody is stupid and that happens. But nobody wants to be that person, right?
No.
Because like that's just an NJP waiting to happen. You're gonna get ninja striked so hard.
And
because of that.
I don't know what type of unit that was, but I can speak as an infantryman, and you're an infantryman also.
Yeah.
That is a no-no. We are supposed to be experts of the weapons that we handle. We're not experts in every weapon like everybody assumes, because there's only certain weapons in our MTO. SAW is one of them. That is like a major weapon that is part.
Yeah, you should know how to clear
of our
SAW.
platoon or company. We are supposed to be trained to the teeth in that. And obviously this guy wasn't trained. He probably just got handed. You can tell by the way he was handling it. He wasn't trained.
He was probably new at it, and it happens. I mean, I get it. It happens. Maybe that's even in a training company. Who knows? Like,
does happen, but it's frowned upon.
But it's you're gonna get a page 11 or an NJP, one of the two. Like something's going to happen to you if you.
It's going to happen. Do I agree with it? If it's in a clearing barrel, no. But does it happen? Yes, it happens. I had to do it.
Absolutely happens, and hopefully it never happens again, because it only takes once. At least it should only take once. Absolutely.
And to say, for open bolt weapons like that, it's pretty. It happens a lot more than what people think. But if you're properly trained, you wouldn't have. It was the way he cleared it that was wrong. Now, if you have a hot round in there, sometimes the rounds get lodged in there and you can't get it out because the heat expands the casing. Yes, I can see like there's nothing you can fucking do about it.
Right.
But he wasn't trained properly. You could tell.
Yeah. And I get that. I get it. Sucks, but it's going to suck for the Astro, and you're going to get afterwards too.
Enjoy that extra duty.
Yeah, enjoy your extra duty. That's definitely the thing.
Oh man!
So you're Michael's going in cold on this one. It's about the draft, and you're going to get angry because of your previous drill sergeant duties.
Oh yeah, let's see this.
This is going to be brilliant for you. So let's watch this brilliancy of modern day Gen Z, millennials. I don't know. Millennials are too old to go in the draft, so it doesn't matter.
If women are drafted to the military, I am most excited to see the confrontation between commanding officers and the girls. You think we're going to let you yell at us? You think we're going to do something without a please and thank you? We've all had controlling ex-boyfriends. We know not to put up with that bullshit. Like, let's sit down and have a conversation about what you want and what I want, and we'll reach a happy medium. Because there's no way I'm doing what you want when you use that tone with me. You think you can push us around like you can with these men? Think again, baby. You're going to learn some manners. If women are drafted to...
You're gonna learn some manners.
Okay.
You're gonna learn some manners.
Let me get back. Bring it back. All right. I did 3 years as a drill sergeant, right? Yeah. I've trained over, let's say, 1,000 soldiers, maybe a little less. Do we get people that come in saying stuff, talking like that? Yeah,
Oh, I'm
we
sure.
do.
I'm sure it happened.
Do they learn really fast that it doesn't work that way? Oh,
Yep.
yes, they do.
Yeah.
Have I made privates piss their pants? Like literally? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have. Have I made privates cry? Oh, yes, I
Yep.
have. Have I made privates quit? Yes, I have.
I'm
But
sure
here's
you
the problem. She's only talking about like male drill sergeants. What she doesn't
have.
understand is that there are female drill sergeants who are more brutal than the male drill sergeants. So a lot of times
Because
when
they
we
got
get
shit to prove.
when we get a female that's like that, all uppity, thinking that she controls something, we just get a female drill sergeant, and they think we're bad. Then they want us back. They're like, "Oh, bring the male drill sergeant," because the female drill sergeants, man, oh man, they are brutal. So yeah, she went on and she said, "Commanding officers, what are you talking about?" Here's the deal with people like that. You have a contract, right? In your
Mhm.
contract, it says that you will do exactly what you're told lawfully. So if I tell you to do something lawfully, there is no back talk. You just broke your contract. You just violated, the rules of your contract, or you swore an oath to do what you're told.
Yep.
So yeah, she's talking out her,
She's
third
talking at
point of
her.
contact, and she would never win that fight. And that goes to anybody who thinks they'll win a fight, because I ain't seen a
Right.
drill sergeant get beat once, 3
See, 'cause-
years, not once.
Right. And I wanna give people a taste
Oh
of
yeah, I love this
what
video.
what actually happens during one of these sessions. Do you think you're gonna talk back in one of these sessions? No,
Oh,
it happened.
you ain't talking
Like
like
this is a super old video, by the way. I saw this video before I went into boot camp.
And
Or maybe
this
afterwards. I don't know what it
is
was.
true. This really happens in the Army and the Marine Corps. This, where when I was a drill sergeant, it happened. This, yes, this is real. Oh man, brings back some good memories.
And here comes another one. They just all come in at once.
You could tell that one in the back's kind of the nicer drill sergeant.
Yeah.
You can tell he was kind of standing, or he was the senior. He was kind of standing back. Yeah, those are good times, man. Pickup day.
Okay, yeah. So I got another one for you.
There was
since we showed the Marines, I got to show the Army too.
There was a Hooch throwback. Yeah, this is a good one. We did do this. Until we made it stop.
Day 0.
Yep.
I want you to take a break.
Look at those BCGs too.
He's confused. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, he's so confused. Let me see your work face.
God, it brings back memories. Oh, that's the first sergeant. It wasn't a drill. That was the first sergeant. Usually, first sergeants are former drill sergeant. Yep. He's pissing himself. Yep, look at his face. Look, don't cry.
Oh man, these throwbacks, dude. Look at this. The BCGs. Those who don't know, those are called birth control glasses. They're the standard issue that you get from the military, and they are awful. There's no way you look good. Nobody looks good in those glasses. Nobody. Not a single person.
And next time, I do have a video somewhere of when I was in the gas chamber with my privates. You want to see hilarious. You want to see people choke.
I've seen that
choke.
video.
Yeah, you saw it choking. The snot coming out their nose, and I'm just sitting there screaming.
Oh yeah, so let's bring that one up since we're talking about boot camp and stuff like that. It's like this is what people don't understand. Like this is the reason I brought it up. Is like we are in the precipice of war in a global scale, and we're talking about bringing back the draft, right? Like these people, like this woman, are thinking, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna be a bad bitch. I'm gonna be a boss babe in front of all these drill sergeants. This is like, no, you're not. That is not happening. Not in a single day, not for a single minute is that ever going to happen.
Now, here's the thing about basic and boot and whatever, other training, other branches go through. And I'm mainly talk about the Marines and Army. there is something that we call you have to break like a horse. And it's not physically hurting them. It's not putting your hands on them. It's breaking that mentality. So
Mhm.
this is why they're so intense in your face, because they're trying to let you know that you're not in charge here. So they have to break you down to kind of get rid of that old way of thinking to instill or input a military mindset. So all of it's part of the game. You know, I always told my privates at the end, nothing we did was personal. It was business. We have a product to put out, and we're going to put out the best product. That's the way you got to
Yep.
think about it. So in the beginning of creating that product, there's a lot of turmoil on both sides, with the drill sergeants constantly have to repeat themselves, constantly showing you the same thing over and over again. And there's turmoil with the civilian transitioning to soldier or Marine that doesn't understand the terminology, doesn't understand the jargon.
Right.
So it's all this turmoil and it seems chaotic, but at the end of the day, everything smooths out. And then we tell the privates, you're on autopilot. Oh yeah,
Yep.
these are the good days.
Here's a good example of what we're talking about.
Yep.
Like, in the gas chamber, it's like you do the infantryman's creed.
I'm the infantry. I'm my country's strength in war, her deterrent in peace. I'm the heart of the fight, wherever, whenever. I carry America's faith and honor against our enemies. I am the queen of battle. I am what my country can make me to be. Best trained soldier in the world. In the race, bitch, I am swift, determined, courageous. Armed with a fierce will to win. Never will I fail my country's trust. Always I fight on.
He's like trying not to
to the
puke.
objective. Triumph overall. I fight to my death. From a stout rascals I have won. Are you not to weak, to starter, to cowardice, to fatigue, to superiors? For I am mentally dumb, physically strong, and morally straight. I have forsaken not my country, my mission, my comrades, my sacred
man.
duty. I am relentless. I am the infantry. Follow me!
See, like,
That holds a
That's-
special place in my heart, that
and
infantryman's
it
creed.
should. Like that's
And yeah, I mean, and that's the stuff that we're not allowed to do. And I'll tell you why, because
Yeah.
I was a drill sergeant from 2010 to 2013. The very beginning of when I was a drill sergeant, it was the wild, wild west in that place.
Yeah.
As long as we didn't put our hands on privates or sleep with female privates or any of that, or, you know, go against the training, you know, what's written in the POI, it was
Yep.
free game. Now we weren't, when it got towards the end, you know, closer like into my second year, we weren't allowed to do that. You know, have them in there with their mask off. They had to take it off for a quick and then get them out real quick. When I first started, man, they would sit in there with that dang
Yep.
mask on. And what we
It
used to
was it.
do, we line them all up in front of the gas chamber by platoon. But each
Mhm.
platoon would take their problem children out. So any private that was like a problem child, they would go last. So we put all the problem children in a
When the
line.
CS is the thickest. Yeah.
Oh, then we would thicken that CS up to the point to where you can't even see in that place. And they come in and be like, all right, privates, check your seal. And you make them check their seal, make sure it's working. All right, break the seal. You make them break it real quick, then reseal
Yeah.
it to make sure it's working. And then we line them up. All right, privates, you know, when we tell you to take off your mask, you're going to take your mask off, hold it over your head, and you're going to say the soldier's creed on the count of 3. 1,
Yep.
2, boom. They all take their mask off and they got to say, I'm an American soldier. I'm a warrior member of a team. You know, they got to say it. And you see them over there
Yeah.
like freaking out,
For the
trying to
worst
run out.
possible time.
Yeah. And then you have a drill sergeant standing at the exit of the gas chamber, because you get these privates that want to dart out. They want to take off. No, you ain't going nowhere, buddy.
I've seen that. It's like, dude, this is what I'm talking about, man. It's like the generation that exists now, the Gen Z
couldn't take
kids are the ones that are going to get drafted, and it's
Mhm.
they already
couldn't take
have retention goal problems. They cannot recruit enough qualified candidates for the military. Like, most people think that the military just takes whoever. That's not true.
Mm-mm.
It's never been the case that they just take whoever, because they
Certain
can't just take
scores.
whoever.
No.
You have to fit a right type of mold, and there's a lot of people that get axed out right at the beginning, even right before they ship, and when they ship, and even in boot camp. There's a lot of people that get dropped out. Right? It's not a thing that everybody can do, and there's not going to be enough for a major global war.
And the
they're
thing,
going to have to draft.
and the thing with the military is not just some fancy title. It's a lifestyle,
Yeah.
you know. And the thing with being an infantryman, and I don't know if it's the same for the Marines, we used to always tell people, being an infantryman, I used to tell my guys, being an infantryman just isn't a job. It is a lifestyle.
Yep.
You know, every day we're an infantryman. You look at these other MOSs, they can't compare.
Yep. They can't.
But
They
these
really can't.
kids nowadays, they're going to learn real fast. And I think, between all the branches, they need to come together and get rid of this hands-off, soft military that they're trying to train these guys to be, and go back to like the Cold War era, style.
It's not going to unless the big one happens, and that's what we're talking about. Is like the amount of they're gonna have to in order to toughen up a lot of these people, and it's gonna unless they're gonna get good recruits in, it's just not gonna happen. I
Now, I will
and
do this. I will say this. If the Army called up and they said, hey, we're looking for former drill sergeants to train people, as
Mhm.
long as I could stay a civilian and get paid to do it and not leave where I'm
As a
living, and
contractor and get paid
as a
more than
contractor,
everybody?
I'd
Yeah,
take off for a couple
I'd take
weeks
it.
and I'd do it.
I'd do
But
it for the contractor pay. I
I'd
wouldn't do
do
it for
yep,
the
I'd do it
slave
because
pay that they give you. No.
I was a raw. I was quiet. I was silent but deadly. You ever had that one
Yeah.
that was just quiet and just watched?
Yeah.
And then he would just explode out of nowhere and you never heard, you rarely
It's
heard him.
usually always like the short ones that were like that, but like,
That
yeah.
was me. I wasn't short, but I was that
I know you're not
silent
short, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
every time I saw that in the Marine Corps, it was always like the really short
Napoleons.
the drill instructors, like were the short ones, like a little Mexican dude always popped out like a chihuahua, man, every single
Mhm.
time. Every time.
Yeah, we had one drill sergeant Agan. Now he's a sergeant major, but he was like that. He was shorter than me, but he was that dude that would come out of nowhere on you.
And the reason I bring this next video up is it ties into this really well for a good
Oh
segue.
my God, what is
This
that?
is Exhibit A
What
as
is
to
that?
why we are so effed in the next war. We are so boned.
People want to say that I don't experience PMS symptoms, but I've been cramping incredibly bad all day, and at some point my pain tolerance went away and it started hurting incredibly bad for the last 2 hours, so much so that it made me go and throw up 3 times. So yeah, PMS symptoms are ruining my Disney trip. I'm going to Disney.
Oh my God.
Ruining my Disney trip.
That's a man, baby. All right, so let's think scientifically. All right.
My God, dude.
What did he eat in order for him to have cramps? Did he eat some bad at Disney? Because
ate a bad clam. That's what it
his
was.
cramps ain't coming from, menstrual cycles. It's coming from something he ate. That's constipation. That's diarrhea. You're fooling yourself. And this is, and I get what you're saying. This is the type of stuff that is our country will fail if it came to a major conflict on our homeland,
Yep.
This was all done by design. And don't fool yourself thinking it wasn't. This is all by design. We have to weaken America in order to take over America. If we can make more men feminine, if we can remove masculinity from the home, if we can remove masculinity from society, America will be easy to conquer.
Yeah, if you have a bunch of weak men that can't defend themselves, then it's a lot easier to take over things, isn't it?
He over there hiding in a corner with the women while his real males are out there, doing the Lord's work.
Right. It just upsets me. I guess to close out that segment before we go into a couple more things before we get into the main stories, it makes me sad. It really does. It makes me sad to know that all of the older generation millennials are probably going to have to get drafted because they're not going to be able to get enough Gen Z. One, because there's not enough Gen Z to fill the ranks, and two, is stupid things like that. My mental health isn't there. All these other things, these problems that I have, and then it's like, well, congratulations on winning equal rights, because now it doesn't matter if you're trans and you have mental health issues, you're getting drafted anyway.
Well,
So congratulations.
Understand that they did raise the enlistment age to 45.
Yep.
So when you think
it was 35, wasn't it? Like the cutoff?
it was in the 30s. Now it's 45. So they're doing this for a reason. Why are they raising the enlistment age to 45? Because they know if they can raise the enlistment age to 45, they can draft you at 45. So it'd be easy. I'm glad I'm over. I'm 47.
I'm not, but it's like
and even if they did call me, I'll walk in a recruiting station with a crack pipe in my hand and talk about, I'm just here for the free MREs.
You said crack?
Crack.
Somebody said crack.
They ain't
Maybe
gonna
get
tell
some
you
crack.
go away. We don't want crackheads. Oh man. But people gotta understand it's all a trick. They didn't just raise the enlistment age just because. There's a reason they did that.
Yep. So I was going to show this last week, but I didn't because I wasn't feeling good. That's why we missed last week's episode. By the way, I'm sorry. But this was after the shooting, and then I thought it was pretty funny. This is the FBI safe files moments before mass shooting occurs.
Yellow.
No, it's not working. What happened there? Uh-oh.
Oh, the FBI got their
FBI decided it didn't want to have...
Nope, try it again. Screw the FBI. Those Jagger Hoover freaking people.
Yeah, I know. It's not playing even on the... just in general.
They got
you.
No
way, dude.
You know they're watching us. Watch.
Yeah, no.
Remember these faces. Because the more information we get, the more we're going to put you on blast. And we ain't going to stop.
Yeah, no, the audio's gone.
Damn. Yep, they got you. They wiped your hard drive.
I don't know what's up with that. It's not.
They did it to Marlon. You know they can do that, right?
Yeah. Let me try reloading it. Maybe they just
do that because we want people to see it.
Good one. It's a really good one, and need to be seen.
I always feel like
okay. I got it to work now. It's always the either the Obama internet or it's the FBI trying to keep us from spreading information.
I got Obama internet.
Oh, Obama internet. Anyway, so moments before
Barack Biden.
Yellow.
You want it to be an AR style or AK style? Understood. Seventeen. Peach cobbler. 14, 13, 12. 1, 1, 1, 7. Broad Street. Brick house.
Oh man, one of the comments is brilliant. Plot twist: actually activated a sleeper with the skit.
That's some MK Ultra. They did.
Yeah, we covered that on the Savage Patriots.
Exactly what they do, and it's believable, man. Like we keep talking, we always say Operation Northwood, stuff like that. It's believable. There are people that go under MK Ultra, even though they said they don't do that program anymore. I believe it still exists.
I'm sure they're still running it,
and they've got tones and everything else to get people to act out. If it's really people, it could be fake too.
Yep. Here's a good argument. This was also from the time of the shooting. Listen.
Sarah didn't get a chance to weigh in on the topic of what happened in Maine and AR-15s.
Yeah, I would love to see an assault weapons ban. Like President Reagan, I don't believe they're a sport or hunting instrument. It's like shooting fish in a bucket, but that's my take.
But also, if you shoot with an AR-15, let's say you shoot a deer, you can't eat it. Because you basically demolish.
In addition to that, but the hunt is about an actual difficult process, not massacring bodies of any kind. But my point is, I'd love to see that.
Sarah didn't get a chance to weigh in on it.
Just massacre the deer with a round.
This is they are so stupid, and people still watch this show. And the issue I have is like you said, it's a 22 round pretty much.
Yeah, it's 22.
Even in Somalia, during Black Hawk Down, they were talking about how their M16s at that time and some M4s, they were shooting the Somalis, and the rounds were just going right through them. They weren't stopping them.
Yeah,
and people got to understand, like these rounds weren't meant to cause that much damage. They were just meant to slow you down. They kill? Yeah,
there's because an AK takes a 7.62. Which is equivalent to a 308, which is what you use to hunt with. Most places don't let you hunt with under certain calibers, and sometimes some places don't let you hunt with 223 because it doesn't drop the deer.
That's right.
Not always. Sometimes, It
That's
doesn't. Sometimes you shoot
small.
it and then it goes, and then it runs away.
That's like you shoot possums. You shoot little things with that. I mean, I don't kill animals. I don't do that.
I'm just
But
saying, it's like I mean, I can hunt with an AR. I wouldn't want to. I would rather hunt with a 308 or a 30-30 or something with a larger caliber, especially if I'm shooting. Okay, so let's take this for an argument. I'm shooting a moose. Would I rather have a 308 or a 5.56? I would rather have a 308 to take down a moose. Okay,
and,
because that 5.56 isn't going to do anything to the damn moose.
and even if you dump a whole mag into the moose, it's still going to keep moving.
That moose is still going to F you up.
Yeah,
Same thing with
it's going to
bear.
die eventually from internal bleeding from the round tumbling around
But
in
it
their
will get
body
you
and
first.
creating cavities, but it will get you.
It's going to get you first. Same thing with a bear. Like, would I rather hunt with a 308 or a 5.56 against a bear? I would rather have a 308 against a bear because the 5.56 is just going to make the bear mad.
50 cal.
It will kill it eventually if I put enough bullets into it, but it will maul me first, and I will die with it. That's what's going to happen. These people are stupid,
and they're dumb. So if somebody went in there or had a 45, shot somebody with a 40 or 45, and then they shot something with a 5.56, what's going to do more damage, that pistol or that rifle round? It's going to be the pistol. It's just scary looking. That's why they don't like it. Just change the stock on it. Make it into a wood stock, and then they wouldn't care anymore.
Yep. It's scary stuff.
Yeah,
it's always scary.
Looks scary.
You know what's scary? Is being around Gavin Newsom with a basketball. If you haven't seen this clip, it's hilarious, by the way. So he went to a trip to meet Xi Jinping in China, and did his best to pretend like he knows how to play basketball.
The Antichrist is playing basketball. Oh.
Yeah. I can play. Look at me. Oh, sorry, Chinese kid.
Oh, sorry, kid. Oh, yeah. I'm so used to doing this to children.
Not a good look, man.
It's not
a good look at all.
I mean, he's in his element right now.
So.
That's what he loves. Him and people like him need to be eradicated off the earth.
But that's the people that are leading us into destruction, though, isn't it? They're the ones leading us down the path of war. Which brings us to our next story, which is going to be the Middle East focused Marine Command cancels the birthday ball. And now, those of you who don't know, the Marine Corps birthday is a very, very important holiday to Marines. It is the time where we celebrate the birth of the greatest military organization to ever been birthed, United States Marines. And they take it very seriously. Very, very seriously. For them to cancel the Marine Corps ball is a really big deal. Now, I have the letter that actually states their intention. Why? I hope this letter finds you well and in good health and high spirits. Regretfully and with a strong sense of duty, I write to inform you the decision that I had to make regarding the Marine Corps 248th ball scheduled for 16 November 2023 due to unforeseen operational commitments. Unforeseen operational commitments.
We know what that means.
And the nature of our current mission, it is with great regret that we must cancel this year's event. Our primary responsibility as Marines is to ensure the security and defense of our nation. It is a commitment to duty that has necessitated the cancellation of what would undoubtedly have been an exceptional evening of camaraderie and tradition. I appreciate the immense effort that has gone into planning and preparations for this year's ball, and I want to express my gratitude to all those who have dedicated their time and effort. While we must forego this opportunity this year, it is the reminder of sacrifices that we make in service of our country. Please know that this is a decision that was not made lightly, and the chief consideration was the need to uphold the highest standards of readiness and the completion of our operational responsibilities. Thank you, and Fidelis. Major General, United States Marine Corps Command, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Central Command. So,
hey,
I know.
I think there's something else going on there. So, the way the country's going right now, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. A lot of people don't believe it. So who has authority over the Marine Corps?
Well, the Department of Defense.
Well, besides the Department of Defense, who do they answer to, like, directly?
No, the president. of the United States, yeah.
So, do you think Joe Biden's the president of the United States? Honestly, on paper, yes, you're going to say yes.
On paper, Joe Biden is the
But
president
do you
of the United
think
States.
he honestly is?
Probably not. I mean, I don't think most people believe
So
that.
there's theories, and what I follow and who I keep up with, that Joe Biden is not the real president. So Biden didn't tell them to do this. Somebody else did. So I don't think they're going where we think they're going. I think there's something else going on towards the middle of this month. And we just talked about how, if you, like, I went to my Bank of America app earlier and it said no deposits. We're not taking any deposits. It's JP Morgan, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all these banks aren't taking deposits. So I think the way my conspiracy brain works is there is something else. It's not, I don't think it is what we think it is. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong. That's just the way, I think outside the little boxes and stuff and look at other avenues, but it's a theory.
So, I mean, this is what the Marine Corps Times has been talking about with it. The command counts 21 countries in the Middle East and surrounding areas as responsibility, but is located in MacDill Air Force Base, Florida, just south of Tampa. Days after Hamas attack in Israel, the 26th Expeditionary Unit, the MU, and its associated naval element departed an exercise in Kuwait earlier and sailed out to the Persian Gulf in the high readiness status. So the MU, that's technically what the MU is supposed to be for in case of certain actions or activities that happen. So Marine MUs happen all the time. Every year they send a battalion of Marines on a boat and go patrol the waterways. Basically what it is. I've been on one of them myself in the Pacific. We went to the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand to do like joint operation training with the Filipino Marines and also the Thais. So it's not. It's
kind of skeptical.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for that to happen. But the idea that they are putting that many forces on the ground and the fact that they are canceling the Marine Corps ball, which even during the wars with Afghanistan and Iraq never happened, not once. Have they canceled? They canceled it for like COVID and stuff because of all the stuff that they were doing there. But there's like been individual units that have canceled balls, but there's never been a CENTCOM cancellation of the Marine Corps ball. That's a really, really big deal and something that we need to be watching closely. On Tuesday, Central Command announced that they are sending 300 more troops that would be deployed to the Middle East to protect U.S. forces, which have come under drone attacks in Israel, in Iraq, and Syria.
We'll see. I don't know. Something's fishy about this, man. And I just don't know why the Marine Corps Times, which to me can't really be trusted, would put numbers out like that. Let's just tell the whole world, if this is what's happening, let's just tell the enemy or whoever how many people we're actually sending over to them. It's fishy to me, man. I just never understood why these so-called military publications, but they're not military, would tell information like that. You know what I mean? We're not even allowed at the company, platoon, battalion levels. We're not even allowed to talk numbers. So why would they talk numbers? You know what I mean?
They wouldn't. And so like the mission of CENTCOM is to directs and enables military operations and activities with the allies and partners to increase regional security and stability in support of enduring U.S. interests. Command priorities are, look at that one, deter Iran, counter violent extremist organizations, compete strategically in regional constructs, and integrated air and missile defense and counter unmanned aerial systems. All those are involved in the conflict right now. And they keep pushing for a war with Iran. And they have billions of dollars of assets, including personnel and equipment, in the Middle East right now for something more major than Hamas.
The Antichrist.
It's like I said, it's a big Big deal.
I like, you know me, man. We've known each other. We've been podcasting together since 2016. You know how I think. I don't trust anything that comes out of their mouth, especially if they're that open with the information.
Right.
You know
Like
what I mean? I
BB
just
said.
don't trust it.
Security and defense of our nation. Yeah, it hasn't been security and defense of our nation in a very long time.
Yes. So it's not our name. And I like I said, I just believe there are other things
Shadow government.
going on. I believe that. I believe that there are other things going on. And I think this whole theater that they're putting on, it's not what's really happening behind the scenes.
Yep.
I honestly think there's something else because look, why would you send Marines over to another country when we got crazy stuff in the next segment that's going on here?
Yeah, and not even counting all the different operations happening at the border right now.
Exactly.
Like, it's insane the amount of money
Why
and
not?
effort we put into all these different countries.
Why not keep those resources right here in America and send them to where they need to be sent? Why put them on a boat and send them to the Middle East? You know, because we already have bases out there that can react a lot faster than Marines that have to go across the ocean. There's already forces there. Those forces there can react. You leave those Marines patrolling the United States, my theory, leave them patrolling with the Navy like they do, leave them patrolling.
Yeah. The only thing that Marines are good for on a MU is for amphibious landing assaults. Like, that's for invasions. Like, if you in fast actions, like we're talking about amphibious invasions and fast tactical operations, right? Something that we need to drop a bunch of boots on the ground as fast as possible. That's what they're for.
And drop them off in DC. Let them clean it up real fast.
Right. So this weekend, if you guys haven't noticed or even seen or mentioned, there was a massive protest of pro-Palestinian groups in Washington, D.C. About 300,000 people showed up. At least that's what the count is, or at least that's what I've seen in articles. It was pretty massive. So here's a news report, and we'll go on some other stuff.
Tens of thousands showing their support for the Palestinian people, taking to the streets in Washington, D.C. The protesters demanding a ceasefire in Gaza and calling to cut U.S. aid to Israel. ABC's M. Nguyen is in Washington with more. M, good morning. The images were just startling.
Startling indeed, Janae. Good morning. Yes, signs and banners have been left here outside the White House. Some reading Free Palestine, others reading genocide. This after thousands descended here on Washington in the latest pro-Palestinian protest. Massive crowds gathered calling for a ceasefire, condemning the Biden administration's support of Israel. Demonstrators were seen on social media trying to scale the White House fence. Some spraying graffiti on D.C. buildings and statues. Some brought out Palestinian flags. Others fake coffins to the area as Israel's bombardment of Gaza has killed more than 9,400 people, according to the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza. Israel has said they aren't targeting civilians and that their goal is to eradicate Hamas after the group attacked the country October 7th, killing some 1,400 people, according to Israeli officials. D.C. police tell us at least one person has been arrested for destruction of property and that they're investigating several other incidents of vandalism in the area.
Hi, everyone. George Steph.
So this is what is currently going on. This has been going on for a while. Like, there's a lot of pro-Palestine demonstrations that happen all over the world. It's not just in DC. There's been a lot of issues in a very interesting place relating to the conflict. One of them being Germany, which is a really, like, I made this joke before. It's like, it's got to be really awkward for Germany to be like, well, we can't really say we're not with Israel. You know what I mean? we can't really. I mean, it's kind of our fault this whole thing is happening. You know, like, you can't really be pro-Palestinian as the Germans. You know, that makes things a little bit awkward for everybody, I would think.
Hey, it's just, I don't know, man. It just don't sit right with me. And like we've said in many episodes on other podcasts, this has been going on longer than we've been alive. Where was the energy last year? Where was the energy the year before? Where was the energy the year before that? Why now? Why now is there this huge uprising in the whole world over something that happens all the time. So something else is going on there, and they're not telling us, but we're going to get down to it. I say I'm neutral, cut funding to all of them and let them duke it out. That's what I say.
Let them finish the fight.
Yep.
That's the only thing.
Duke
But
it out.
this is the atmosphere that's been happening in Germany. So like one of the biggest issues with this is basically, like I said before, people showing what their true allegiances are and their true faces, what they actually believe. And here's some of the issues that they're dealing with in Germany. It's not just the U.S.
Israel's war on Hamas is having repercussions outside of the region. Demonstrators in many countries have held both pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian rallies. Here in Germany, public opinion is also shaped by the country's historic responsibility for the Holocaust. A senior political leader recently posted a speech condemning anti-Semitism. But surveys show that people's views on the conflict are in fact complex.
The war between Israel and Hamas has touched many lives, not just in the Middle East, but for instance, in Germany too. Many feel it's a conflict with no end. The latest Infratest DMAP poll reveals almost 3/4 of Germans say they are concerned about the flare-up in hostilities since the terror attacks by Hamas on the 7th of October. Many of them say they feel fear about what might happen next. Of course I'm scared. I'm afraid of anything that spreads hate. Yes, with this conflict that we have now, the Middle East, Israel, I hope they stop on both sides. You get really scared. Well, I think I've never been as afraid of the future as I am now also with Ukraine and with Israel. Germany has seen demonstrations on both sides. Large crowds determined to show solidarity with Israel and awareness of Germany's historic responsibility towards Jews, but also protests in support of the Palestinians, sometimes peacefully drawing attention to the plight of civilians in Gaza, sometimes angrier gatherings with anti-Semitic chants and slogans. According to police, there's been a surge in the number of anti-Semitic incidents in recent weeks, including Molotov cocktails thrown at a Jewish centre and the Star of David daubed on Jewish homes. But the Infratest DMAP survey shows only just over half of people in Germany acknowledge this rise in anti-Semitic hatred. More than a third said they did not recognise the problem. I'm afraid
I don't see a problem here. No, not at all. I don't see a problem. No problem at all. It's so brilliant, man. So brilliant. So, mind you, this is the state that will arrest you if you have anything slightly resembling anything to do with the Nazi Party, like anything, and they will put you in jail for a long time.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah. So this flare-up of anti-Semitism in Germany is again a big deal. It is not going to be solved simply there. But here's the other thing, dude. In the protest that happened here, they did a lot of things, but there's another one I wanted to tie into to the Germany side of this, is what a protester in Germany was saying that they want to do. And this is coming from their own mouths. I'm not trying to add anything to it. Take with it what you will. This is important. All right.
Yeah, I lived in Germany for 3 years, and if you even mention anything Nazi, like you said, you can get in a lot of trouble for that. And that's a very, very true statement.
Yep. So this is going to be all translated and read. So excuse me, I'll try to keep it as best I can.
Die sagen, ich will hier keine Scharia in Deutschland. Das ist Schwachsinn.
No one Sharia Germany.
Den Islam verändern. Du bist für authentischen Islam, so wie er ist.
Jeder, der sich als Muslim bezeichnet, muss die Scharia wollen auf der ganzen Welt. Ich will die Scharia in Deutschland auf jeden Fall.
Würdest du die deutsche Verfassung aushebeln?
Right, and so you want to nullify the German Constitution. This dude keeps going on and saying that yes, we want Sharia law everywhere, and that isn't that how democracy works? If we're the majority in a country, then it's our country.
No.
Wait a minute. Okay, danke. Wie zum Beispiel? Wie könnte man jetzt aus Deutschland einen islamischen
Yeah, so how can you turn Germany into an Islamic state, for example? And this is what he goes on to say.
Wie zum Beispiel?
laut den Werken ist das so, dass man, wenn man in der Mehrheit ist,
Yeah, if you're in the
wenn man in der
majority,
Mehrheit ist, wie Sie auch
if you're in the
erklärt
majority,
haben,
just
ist,
as you explained,
sind wir
we
dafür
are ordered
befohlen,
to occupy
Deutschland
and
auch
capture
einzunehmen,
Germany.
auf jeden Fall.
This is the ideology of the people that are protesting, right? So these pro-Palestinian protests tell you exactly who they are and what they're about when they're talking every single time, and people don't believe it. They look at it as like, oh, they're just wanting freedom for the Palestinians. So no, they're not. They want complete control, just like every other group in the world. It's no different.
It's no different than the Ottoman Wars. You know, they did it before. This is what they want. They want total control, and if they want to bring it here, bring it. You know, that's why they're terrified of Americans, because they know we're not going to tolerate it. We will not tolerate stuff like that. Countries in Europe, they tolerate it. This is why they're getting freaking overwhelmed by radicalism. Has nothing to do with a Muslim or people from those countries. It's their ideology that they bring to a country and try to flip a country to the ideology that they left. And if you stand for that, just leave your country. But Americans, we're not going to stand for it. Now, I'm going to say it right here. Try that here. Try it, please.
Yeah.
Try it.
So Joe Biden, in his infinite glory, has decided to vacation at his home in Delaware on a beach, while furious Palestinian protesters were outside of the White House this weekend, screaming all kinds of anti-Semitic things and graffiti, and spraying the buildings out there, and even trying to climb the White House fence. So they in their infinite glory, have decided to put bloody handprints or red painted hands all over outside of the gates of the White House.
And they're stupid. You know why they're stupid? What did those red handprints leave?
Yeah. Fingerprints. I know, right?
So stupid.
That is absolutely dumb. So yeah, this is them trying to climb over the gates for whatever reason. I don't know.
Now, you know, if that was Jan 6, you know, everybody would have been arrested, you know.
Death to Israel,
choose, man. And the thing is, hopefully Joe Biden gets arrested real soon.
So, and they were chanting as the usual things: free Palestine, from the river to the sea, you know, all the usual suspect of things that you see in these marches. One of the other things that they did wasn't just that made me mad. It was defiling monuments to the founding fathers. That was the thing that upset me. This right here is what upsets me. Is defacing monuments in Washington with your Palestinian flag.
Which that monument has nothing to do with Palestine.
Yeah.
And you know, if more Americans would get upset, most Americans are so passive these days that, you know, they don't want to go out there and say anything, and they actually support this.
This
is crazy. But you know, they're gonna come across the right citizens, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna come across the right one, and the right one. There's some people out there just itching to get into this.
Yeah,
that's what they gotta understand. That old term, you're gonna awaken a sleeping giant. There's a lot of people that are very pro-American in our country, and they're just itching for them to slip up and do something out of pocket.
Yeah,
protest all you want.
And this calling for intifada,
of course.
You're not calling for peace. You're not calling for a ceasefire. You're calling for genocide yourselves. Like, you keep claiming that Joe Biden and Israel is responsible for a genocide in Gaza, and that may be the case. Sure, but you're not helping the case against why they shouldn't perform actions against the Palestinians, or Hamas in this case. Is because if given the free way, like the free actions that they could do, they would do the exact same thing, right? So the only reason we don't have massive civilian deaths in Israel right now is because of the Iron Dome system, right? Their rocketry, the technology they use, is shitty, super shitty. and it would hit nothing but civilian targets all day long. The only reason we don't have higher civilian death counts in Israel is because they do have the Iron Dome system. And that is a fact. That is truth. And it just upsets me that these people are in the United States doing this too.
I feel sorry for the people that are caught in the middle of this, and especially, the kids who are caught in the middle, who really don't have a true understanding of what this is. So, and people can go back and forth of whose land it is and who was there first and blah, 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 blah. Nobody really knows, except the Bible. The Bible tells
everybody claims
everyone claims everything. Really matter. And, based off their ideology, based off their mindset is they want Israel to give the land back to the Palestinians, and they're going to do it by any means necessary. So should every American follow suit and give all our land back to the Native Americans?
Well, that's what they would want.
Americans would cry foul. They'd be like, no, we're not going to do that. But why do you want to push it in another country?
It's the same exact thing. It's always been the same exact thing. And I want to leave. I want to leave
kills me.
This last image as kind of the conclusion of my case. These are the people who they really are. This is a photo of the D.C. protest, and it's showing you exactly who they are. I don't even need to put words into it. I don't even describe it. This photo, you can look at it, and they can tell you exactly who they are.
You know that old saying, when someone shows you who they are,
believe them.
Believe them. Always believe them. And they're telling you exactly who they are. They're showing you exactly who they are. It's about the eradication of a whole, not just the people that are fighting them. They want the whole bloodlines and everything eradicated off the, and it's always been like this. This is nothing new. It's just that this conflict and this little area in Israel and Gaza is such a big deal. But this has been going on for
forever, man.
Centuries. Outside of Gaza, there has nothing to do with land, and you have people like that wanting to kill Jews. It has nothing to do with Israel. They don't even live there, and they still want to take them out. So a lot of these people are insane. It's an ideology. And then you got a lot of stupid Americans and stupid Westerns who buy into the crap, who are picking sides when you shouldn't pick sides because you really don't know what's going on.
Yep.
But you're picking sides and you care more about people over there than you care about in our own freaking country. Yep. That's the problem I have with it. This is why I stand neutral. I'm not getting involved. I don't pick sides. I don't care who wins or loses. Just get it over with and stop killing innocent people and we'll be good.
Yeah. That's all I want is just innocent people to stop dying because of stupid people. Like politicians will more than happy to watch you die as long as it gets them what they want.
Yep.
That's how it's always been. It's how it's always going to be. Right. So you cannot believe these people when they tell you you need to fight for us.
Everything.
It's not when they say us, it doesn't mean you.
No,
it means them. It means them every single time.
And we said it before on the Savage Patriots. Their version of America, when they say America, it's not the same version that we, the American people, are talking about.
Or democracy.
They're talking about something totally different. So they say the American people. What American people support this? Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Understand that everything, we'll say it again. Everything that you see on TV, that you see from these mainstream media outlets, that you hear the words coming out of these politicians' mouths and these talking heads and all these protesters, everything is a trick.
Yep.
Everything is a rich man's trick. Yep. Understand that. Stop picking sides, especially if you're an American. Stop picking sides. Put that much effort into your own community. You're out here protesting and tearing stuff up and tearing your own community, and your community looks like crap. So you don't care about other people's communities. You don't care about yours. So what do you care about?
Yep.
I don't care. I'm not putting any effort into it.
And the fact that they're draping a Palestinian flag, a foreign flag, on monuments to the United States.
Treason.
And they will more than happy to burn the U.S. flag.
Treason.
Every single time.
You know, if Donald Trump gets back elected, I don't care about any politician at this point because they're all the same. But I would pick him over anyone else. I would write an executive order that states no other flag can be flown in the United States except on holidays, if you're from that country, you're recognizing something from that country, you want to show homage to that country. Outside of that, there should be no other flags being flown. Period. There's only one flag. You show loyalty to this country. When you raise your right hand, all you protesters out there, pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, and all that crap, if you're an American citizen or you migrated from one of those countries and you took that oath of citizenship, guess what you gave up? Loyalty to that country.
Yeah.
Period. And if you're loyal to another country, that's treason.
Yeah.
Y'all better wake up. Start taking care of our country. Our country's falling apart right now. We're out here protesting about some stuff halfway across the water that we can't do nothing about. You're sitting here armchair quarterbacking for Palestine and Israel when you ain't got the balls to go over there and do anything about it.
Yep.
Put that energy here.
They should, but they don't. They won't.
No,
they never
they're
will.
Cowards. All of them.
And they never do. Anyway, that's going to be it for the stream tonight. We'll be back next week. We got the Savage Patriots tomorrow night. Same time as usual. Those of you who usually watch will know. What time is that, Michael? Is usually because I mess it up.
Oh, the times. Okay, so it's usually 6:30 Eastern.
Yeah, 6:30 Eastern. It's 5:30 Central, and whatever time the West Coast
4:30 here, I think.
We
I
are all
don't
in
know, man.
different
These
time zones,
timelines are messing me up. So
Yeah,
if
the
it's
time
6:30,
zones
okay, yes, it would be 4:30 because remember Arizona's clocks don't go back. So
Yeah.
it'll be 6:30 there, 5:30 there, and it'll be 4:30 here.
And be sure to check out our link tree. That's where you can find all of our links to just about everything on the show. And you can go onto our merch link as well and buy some cool shirts.
Yes.
Some ones that
Get
I've got
'em.
up here.
Get those
The
hoodies, man. It's wintertime.
the Always
Come on.
Hungry hoodie is one of my favorites that I put
Show a
together.
little
You got your
support.
OG Boogie and our retro shirts.
And here's the thing. I mean, we love it when people give us gifts during our live streams, but gift by going to buy some merch.
Yep.
It's just the same. And then show it. Send us a picture, email us, and then we'll post a picture of you wearing a shirt here. Give you a shout out.
Give love. It's true. Yeah, if you need it again, I'll go ahead and post it in the chat so that you guys can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in the on Kick as well, so you can always follow us everywhere. I don't have the Kick link in here yet. I need to put that in there. That's what I keep forgetting to do. But anyway, you can catch us there. Catch us at Savage Patriots. That's been it for us tonight. We love you, America.
Free America. And
Free America. What's a free America, dude? What is free America? Like, what
Free
does that
America from the cabal and the elites that are destroying our country. Free America.
mean? Okay, free America. Okay,
The real America, not the corporation. All right.
not the corporate America. Gotcha.
Not the corporate, the republic. And we
And we're
are
out.
War.